Hello and welcome to Jive Talking with me, Disco Dan. On today's episode, we'll be taking a look back at the last two House of Pain shows of 2023, and we're going to kick things off with Annie's Burger Shack from Friday, the 29th of December. The show kicked off with a six-man tag team match as two of the black sheep of the Shepherd, Johnny Sharp, and Ryu Genshin teamed up with Joseph the Fallen Star to take on the Suntan Superman LJ Heron, Jerry Jarvis, and Diamond Dave Andrews. The match came down to Johnny Sharp and Jerry Jarvis, where Jerry was setting up for a white noise when Johnny Sharp raked his eyes and hit his devastating kick called God's Own Boot to pick up the win for the team. It was singles action next as one of the co-Full Throttle champions, Oscar Prospero, was in action against Kobe Woods. Kobe challenged Oscar to put the Full Throttle title on the line because he beat him 2 weeks ago in Kirk Hallam, but Oscar refused. So the non-title match was on, and Kobe went to the top rope towards the end of the match when the other co-Full Throttle champion came to ringside and pulled him off the top rope. Oscar Prospero thought that he had the match won, but Kobe managed to roll him up in a small package to pick up his second win over Oscar Prospero in the month. Surely Kobe Woods has earned himself a shot at the Full Throttle Championship now. Indigo Jones was in action next as he was in a fatal four-way, taking on one of the badly dressed boys, Davey Thompson, the Canadian Peter Sador, and Pinky the Pirate. And it was Pinky the Pirate hitting a 619 on Indigo, taking Davey out with a seated senton, and then hitting a swanton bomb off the top rope onto Indigo to pick up the win in this fast-paced match. Two men who have recently returned to action at House of Pain recently went one-on-one next as the Imperial Dragon, accompanied by Charlie Ace, went one-on-one with the Pinfall Wizard TJ Dean. Charlie Ace tried to get involved in the match, but TJ Dean managed to get out the way and Imperial Dragon knocked her off of the apron. TJ then lived up to his name of the Pinfall Wizard and rolled him up to pick up the win. It was tag team action next as Team Textbook of Dave Breaks and Kyle Crimson were in action, taking on Joey Cement and Franco Fate. Franco was setting Kyle Crimson up for a power slam, but Kyle managed to escape this, push Franco into a boot from Dave Breaks, and then they hit a powerbomb back suplex combination for Kyle to pick up the win over Franco. In the main event of the afternoon, the House of Pain Heavyweight Championship was on the line as the King Freak Alton Thorne challenged the House of Pain Heavyweight Champion Grayson Clay. Grayson was setting up for a pedigree when Alton managed to reverse this into a backdrop and then hit a power slam onto Grayson to pin him to become the new House of Pain Heavyweight Champion. Moving on to the final show of the year, we were in St. Anne's for the second week in a row on Saturday, the 30th of December. The show kicked off with a huge 8-man tag team match featuring Joseph the Fallen Star, the Black Sheeps, Will Roberts, the Imperial Dragon, and one of the co-Full Throttle champions, Oscar Prospero, taking on the team of Timberwolf, disco rave of myself and Rave Boy and the House of Pain Heritage Champion Nate Colt. The match seemed to fall apart a bit towards the end as 6 of us all brawled into the back, leaving just Nate and Joseph Starr in the ring. And as Nate went for an RKO, Joe managed to reverse this into a backslide to pick up the win and potentially earn himself a future shot at the Heritage Championship. It was singles action next as the powerhouse punk Mikey McLovin was in action, but Mr. Number 1 Niall Hind was unable to appear, so he sent Tristan Wheeler in his place. Tristan tried to cheat his way to victory, but Mikey managed to overcome Tristan's cheating ways and hit a stunner to pick up the win. After the match, it was announced that in 2024 there will be a Rising Star tournament featuring 8 of the newer House of Pain faces. Mikey announced that he will be entering the tournament and he plans on winning. Matlock was in action next as he went one-on-one with Pinky the Pirate. Matlock looked to have things in control as he went for a chokeslam, but Pinky managed to reverse this into a roll-up and pick up the win in what many would consider an upset. The House of Pain tag team titles were on the line next as Team Textbook's Kyle Crimson announced he was cashing in his anytime title shot after winning the Rumble in Reneth earlier in the month. He did say that Dave Breaks was not available, so he had hired a former tag team champion to ensure that he wins the titles. He announced his partner as one of the 3 Kings, Gerardin. As Firestorm were making their way to the ring, only Marley came out. As he went backstage to find Rayna, he dragged Will Roberts out to ringside, and Will said that he had nothing to do with Rayna being attacked backstage. Kyle said that this is his anytime title shot and he must defend the titles 2-on-1 against himself and Gerardin. Marley accepted the challenge and Kyle Crimson was bossing Gerardin around throughout the match, and Gerardin seemed reluctant to attack Marley. As the match went on, Gerardin had had enough of being bossed around by Crimson and hit him with a crossroads, leaving him in a one-on-one situation with Marley. As Gerardin was leaving though, Rayna came through the curtain and Gerardin told him to get in the ring and kick that textbook arse. Marley and Rayna then double teamed Crimson and Rayna hit a huge spear for Team Firestorm to retain the House of Pain tag team titles. It was 6-man tag team action next as House of Pain's resident gangster Jaden Law teamed with the newcomer Vincent Squire and Mr. USA Lance Flashman to take on Davey Thompson, his younger brother who debuted just last week, Zach Davey, and the House of Pain referee and ring announcer making his in-ring debut, Tony Allen. As the match went on, Jaden did everything he could to avoid Tony in the match after spending months being a thorn in his side during the House of Pain shows. But as the match came to a close, Jaden was left all alone in the ring with Tony, and Tony hit an attitude adjustment, followed that up with a people's elbow to pick up the win over the gangster. In the main event of the evening, it was a street fight as the Shepherd Johnny Sharp went one-on-one with the firm's Spike. If Spike won the match, then the Black Sheep would be forced to break up, but if Johnny Sharp won the match, then Spike would be forced to leave House of Pain. As the match went on, these two went to war, with both Will Roberts and Joey Cement getting involved, as well as Firestorm at one point as well. There were weapons all over the place, including steel chairs, baking trays, Johnny Sharp's crook, Lego. They even ripped up the canvas, pulled out the mats, so they were wrestling on bare boards. And eventually, Will Roberts and Johnny Sharp duct taped Joey Cement upside down to the top rope, attacked Spike's ankle, and Johnny Sharp locked in an ankle lock, forcing Spike to submit, meaning that Spike has now been forced to leave House of Pain. I can honestly say it was heartbreaking watching this happen, and Spike, you will truly be missed at House of Pain. Well, thank you very much for watching today, and all year long I hope you've all enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed making this. So thank you very much for watching all through 2023. I will see you again in 2024, but for now, don't forget to like the video, share the video, leave a comment below, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next year for some more Jive Talking.